Hi, it's Jason in Jason's Jungle. First video of the year. Today is going to be mostly a potato day. I'm going to be putting spuds up in pots and some in the beds. Let's just see what I've got. Before I actually go on to the potatoes, I just want to show you some of the things that I've also done. I had loads of pruning to do. The gooseberries, the currants, the grapevines, and also the hedge with hawthorns, cherries, elder, and all that. So I've done quite a bit of pruning, and that gave me quite a lot of stuff that I needed to get rid of. Last year when I tried to do the pruning, that's when I put me back out, so it's a bit tentative, but I've managed to get a lot of it done. There's a little bit of the gooseberries left down the bottom of the greenhouse, but the rest of it all got done, and provided loads of trimmings for the burn. We had skip delivered. After an hour, this is what it looked like, completely full. But I managed to get rid of me toilets and some of the bits of rubbish that were lying around. And metal stuff's been put to a side, and the scrap man's going to come and pick them up. But yeah, quite a bit has gone from not only my plot, but quite a few of the plots, and also some fly tip stuff right next to the gate. So that's all been cleared up. With the end of March, it was also the end of burning season. So as I had accumulated quite a few prunings from all the hedges and fruit bushes and grapevines and trees and raspberries and everything else, I also had a few other bits and bobs to get rid of, all wood, no point filling the skip up with that. I had a few fires. I used the washing machine burner, which burns quite nicely, but when you've got a large volume it's a bit awkward. So I had a few open fires on an area at the back, and these went through quite a lot of material very quickly and produced a lot of ash and a lot of char, which is going into the compost bins. But it also gave me opportunity to do slow motion. So here you go, slow motion video of the open fires. So the spuds that I've got are here. So on the right hand side, we've got some left over from last year. That were in the bottom of the fridge, so I might as well grow them on. We've got some fir apples. We've got 1.5 kilogram of King Edwards bought from the shop. This is in Erica's potato challenge this year. So these are going to go into a bed. I'm going to take one of them and grow it in a 30 litre pot to see how much I get from that one spud in one pot. And then we have Red Heidi. I've already got Purple Majesty in buckets, and I'll show you now what I'm going to be doing with buckets this year. Last year, if you look over there, you can see that long trough. But that's still going to be used this year, but I'm trying to get more I can afford there, so get more on this water. So I've got a kids paddling pool here. I can get 7 buckets on here, stood on bricks and the edges, and that just gives a massive reservoir of water that they can soak up and keep the soil moist. They've got, if you look down here, you can probably see the wicking material there, and I'm going to probably get some cable ties into the handles here and just take cable tie all the way around, you know, so that they're all held in sturdy. But that means all I have to do, come down once in a while, fill that up, and they'll wick up the water. So these are 5 Pentland javelins. The one with the rope handle, that only has 1 tuber in, because I am trying to see how much I can get from 1 tuber in a 30 litre pot. So I've got 2 different spuds I'll have in there. I'm also going to do juice and artichokes and mashua, oca, and a piece of Americana, the American groundnut. So I'll have a few different things just to see how much I can get from one tuber in one pot. Okay, and I hope that works. So I best get on filling up all the me pots and getting these spuds in. So I've got my large wheelbarrow bag here. I'm going to use this to mix in last year's soil with some compost from my pail this year. So first of all, in goes what was the bucket from last year. And I'm going to mix into it some blood, fish and bone. If it lets it get in, there we go. A couple of handfuls of that. There's a bit more. And then chicken pellets, chicken manure, not pellets, chicken. So a couple of, about 2.5 handfuls of that. And then in goes this here's homemade compost. And just grab the corners, keep doing this, back and forth, and then and that tumbles it round. And mix it all, of course, if I don't throw it away. I'll get on with finishing that and then I'll start potting up. Okay, so I've done that. This is mixed up a bit. Still a few larger bits that I can pull out from this here's compost. But for my buckets, what I've got is wicker material, which I poke through these holes. Like that. Pull out enough to let it get into the water. And then I've got a loop of the fabric in there. Now I could use two separate bits and have these going in one direction or in the other, but that'll be fine. It just needs to make contact with the soil to let it soak up the water. So now I just fill this up, taking out any big bits that I come across. Now I'm lifting up that wicker material so that it sits on top of the soil, not directly onto the bucket, because I want as much of that to be in contact with the soil as I can. Okay, so I've got a little bit in the bottom. Now I'm putting 3 in. I know a lot of people might put 2, but I don't have that many buckets or that many paddling pools. So I'm going to be putting 3 in each. And I'll see how that goes. So, put the largest one in the bottom. Then I'm going to put another layer on. And then a middle-sized one, just so that they've got the energy to go. And another layer. And then a smaller one. It's up, and then fill this up. Ooh. just one spud from last year. Really, really massive one. Look at the size of it. Okay, so now that's in there. What I've also got are these, just labels on bits of string. That's so that I can remember what's in each bucket. So I put one of these on each handle, just pop them through and loop them on. And then I should remember what I'm harvesting. Okay, so I'll get on with the rest of these. I'll get another bucket full of this, then do the next lot, and I'll come back to you later. So that's 3 buckets full. I've got 5 Purple Majesty, 5 stick. Okay, my camera's just died, so this is my phone. I've got 5 Purple Majesty, one of which is a single potato. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 fir apples, one of which is a single. I've got 1 King Edward single, and then I've got 3 buckets of Heidi red, or red Heidi. Okay, now I don't know if you can see, but just little white things are starting to come down. You might be able to see some line on the ground. They're the hailstones that aren't quite hailstones, but aren't quite snowflakes. But we've been promised a bit today, so I'll just let that go in. But anyway, you can see I'm starting to fill up these. I've got to come back and finish off the bricks to prop the buckets up, which I'll do next time, and I'll do the spuds in the bed next time as well. So until then, I will see you later. Enjoy your garden. I've just cleared out some of the empty pots, the old pots I had grown from last year, and found these growing. Now these are little dinky Jerusalem artichokes. I think this is a dwarf Jerusalem artichoke, which I ordered last year, planted, and it didn't do anything, so I thought I'd killed it off again. But empty in the pot, I've got 6 little plants growing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this largest one into a 30-litre pot by itself, and the rest of them I'll put them all into this pot here. So I'll end up with 2 pots and hopefully a few tubers, and I'll see how much this little one would go into. Hopefully I'll get bigger tubers than this, you know, so I can use them properly. So this is the bed that I'm going to be putting the spuds in. Just got to clear it off, get rid of the scaffold, clear the weeds, and then I can get on with it. So I might as well do that now. So that's the bed cleared. And I've added bloodfish and bone and chicken pellets, and you can see there's a couple of endives still in there. I'll get a couple of leaves off them before they turn or swamped. And I've just laid out the spuds. So I've got King Edwards here, and then I've got what's left of the salad potatoes from the fridge over here. So to plant it, I just take my bulb planter, push it as hard as I can, as deep as I can. I do have a standy on one as well, but I'm just using this one for now. And I can just drop this in and empty it back on top. Okay, so I'll do that with the rest of them. Okay, so that's all these tatties in. Now, none of these tatties were sold as seed potato. The ones over this half, which are, I think, first earlies, they were just left in the fridge. And these ones, these were bought for, well, these are being used for Erica's Potato Challenge 2012, which was 1.5 kilos of regular, normal, shop bought tatties, and see how many you can get. So I had some King Edwards lying around, and I've got, for 1.5 kilos, 14 tubers, 13 are in this bed, and 1 is in a bucket. and I will see how well they do. And yeah, so that's all the tatty's done.